What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, man. My name is Jason. This is Backtrack Cinema. We're a retro channel here, going back to the past, more so the 80s more than anything else. And tonight we got a great show. John Candy, John Hughes, staples of 80s comedy, and my buddy Davey Deathray and we're going to have a little chat. We're going to go back and forth of moments, movies, who these guys were, the legacy they left, and maybe some upcoming content for you guys to look at too. So it is 9:33 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Oshawa, Ontario, Canada, where I'm coming from. What's going on, Davey? What's going on, buddy?
Nothing much, man. Just been spooky season went by like a blur. It was a lot of fun. I watched a lot of movies I've never seen before, and of course had to get in some of the staples as well and everything like that. And just been seeing some good growth, so just staying really busy with the channel, and then of course trying to keep all the spinning plates of real actual life going as well. How about you?
Pretty good. I had actually a great October on the channel. It was like I had like a huge month, massive month with shorts doing well. My pre-recorded stuff did really well. Like my creep show ranking did well, and got a lot of
Nice.
subs through it. And I had a wicked October, just an absolute wicked October. So now mid-November now, and just chilling. I haven't actually done anything in a couple weeks as far as long form. I'm getting used to having a dog. My son got a dog, so it's
Nice.
actually is a little bit of lifestyle change, man. Because when he
Yeah.
walks, it's usually around this time. My wife took him tonight, but yeah, it's been tough to get any pre-recorded done. But I did record 3 videos, guys. So I got 3 retrospectives coming out: Back to the Future,
Nice.
Rocky 4, and Rambo 2. So
Killer.
yeah, they were a lot of fun. So just gonna see who's here, buddy. Chester Franklin, what's going on, buddy? Good evening. Says, hey,
What's
Jason.
happening, Chester? How's it going?
We got Adrian James. What's going on? He says, hey, fellas. Chester says it's going good. Yeah, it's going good here too, man. So yeah, like Davey and I are just gonna talk some John Hughes and John Candy, who both died relatively young. Well, John Candy definitely did.
Mm-hmm.
And John Hughes died in his 50s. But like Davey, what do you think about when you hear both those names growing up as a child in the 80s?
Yeah, so what I think of is hilarious comedy, but comedy that like knew how to, have just enough of that sweetness and just enough of that heart to, to feel grounded and to make you feel something other than, just the hilarious laughter. I think obviously John Hughes, like for me, I think there's the obvious ones that I think most people usually think of the teen comedies when it comes to John Hughes. So people think of
Yeah.
things like 16 Candles and Weird Science and Breakfast Club and all that kind of stuff. And then I think sometimes we forget, like, the Griswolds are based on his family, and he wrote that the story that the original Vacation was based on his story. And we wouldn't have any of the Griswold movies without him. So I think that's one of those things that's nice to remind folks of every now and then. But of course, I don't know, man, like Home Alone, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Uncle Buck. Like, I just think of John Hughes as the voice of comedy in the 80s, like pop comedy. And then as far as John Candy goes, one of the first people that I watched as a kid and really loved as a performer that, experiencing him passing away. I think he had passed away like right around the same time. I can't remember if it was seemed like it was right around the same time that when Kurt Cobain went into a coma, like a few months before he passed away. It was like right in that like same week, if I remember right.
It was
And it was just
March
April something, or yeah.
March 18th, because it was the day after my birthday.
Okay.
And I was only 94. I was like 14. And
Yeah.
there's 2 people I love on this earth that, well, one of them's dead now, but there's another person that I love on this earth that I legit will be sad for a long time, and that's One was John Candy, and the other Sylvester Stallone. Those two guys are like I could tell you those are as far as like liking somebody, looking up to somebody, having a role model. It's those
Hmm.
those are the two guys. And John,
Yeah.
me being Canadian, uh, growing up, in near Toronto, like at the outside of Toronto. My dad met John Candy when he was in high school. Like John Candy
Mm.
showed him around his high school that he potentially was going to go to. And my dad said he was just this he had this magnifying personality like before
Oh
he was
yeah.
ever even famous, like, and
Yeah.
just a sweet man. I don't know, did you get a chance to watch I Like Me, the documentary?
I haven't watched it yet. No,
Oh,
I know I got to, but I guess I can just go off of like just everything that I know from, I don't need any. It's funny. It's like on one side of me wants to watch the documentary, the other side is like I don't need it because I already like I love him so much. But to hear
there's
other people tell those stories that actually knew him and worked with him would be really cool.
yeah, there's some things I just didn't know. I didn't know he was
Mm,
so into music. He had a drum kit. He
hmm.
just loved playing music.
Yeah, he.
Another story too is that he wanted to go to Vietnam. He felt compelled to fight in Vietnam, but
Oh
they
wow.
wouldn't take him because of his knee.
Mm.
Um, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but like 20,000 people, Canadians, I mean, served in Vietnam.
Oh okay.
If you actually look up the history, like the Canadians were actually felt like it was their duty as well. So it was
Mm.
kind of selfless there.
Yeah.
But um, but yeah, just every time I watch one of his movies, it's like he's like a part of the family. That's what he felt like. He felt like a part of the family.
Hmm.
As strange as that sounds. And John Hughes, man, I mean, I don't there's nothing quite like John Hughes. Like nobody makes John Hughes
No.
films. Like they have this energy, they have this
Mhm.
comedic timing, they have this emotional weight that pumps along that
Yep.
they are just it was a staple of the
Yeah.
80s. And I think the Juno director, I forget her name, like she was trying to emulate with the movie Juno. I don't know if you saw that one, but kind of a
Diablo
John
Cody?
Hughes. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, I think she's a writer too. I think she wrote it and directed it. I could be wrong, but
Yeah.
Diablo Cody at least wrote that movie, and I think she directed it. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was just very unique, and he would
Yeah.
bang out scripts in days, like just days, man. And another thing I didn't know about these two, this kind of sparked the idea of this stream tonight, is that they weren't just working partners; they were best friends. Like, um, John Candy's daughter would say, we would go to their house for barbecues. They would come to ours. It was like
Mhm.
they were like literally best friends, and he would like Home Alone was just a favor to John Hughes. He got hardly paid anything. He just came in,
Yeah.
improvised everything, and just the remarkable friendship they had. Like John
Yeah.
Hughes really appreciated that warmness and sweetness he brought to the characters he wrote, and John Candy just loved his writing. Just he thought he wrote these characters so well.
Yeah. I mean, going through the IMDb is pretty staggering. Just how
Yeah,
impressive. I mean, John Candy's got a great IMDb, but John Hughes is ridiculous. I
yeah,
mean, and it's what's really great is, yeah, I mean, most of the movies are comedic or at least comedic in nature, but he does have some movies that just play a little more on the serious side. I mean, stuff like, Some Kind of Wonderful has funny stuff about it, but it is a little more on that kind of serious side. Dutch is funny, but also there, a little almost like a dark kind of family comedy in a way.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, perfect. That's another, with Planes, Trains, like Dutch is another great like Thanksgiving time movie to watch here. And yeah, yeah, the combination of the two, especially like when you're talking like Uncle Buck, because John Candy was not only so good at playing, just effortlessly having that charm, probably like the charm that your dad saw when he's getting toured around the school, just this personability to him that, really comes across in little bit parts like Home Alone, where it really does just feel like this is just John Candy. But
yeah,
he had that ability to tap into something a lot more serious and a lot more sentimental. And even when I was a little kid, like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, like made me like teary eyed. You know what
Yeah.
the fully realized character that we've got in Del Griffith, and you know just how well John plays him, and that there's this like quiet sadness, and he's trying to cover that up with his boisterous personality and everything. I think John Candy, if he had lived longer, it's crazy to think like next May I'm going to be as old as John Candy was when he passed away, which is wild to think about. But I think if John Candy had you know lived a longer life, he probably would have you know dipped into some more serious roles perhaps,
Oh,
and like I could see him being the kind of almost like the way that Bill Murray has been able to do that. Like I would not be surprised if a guy like John Candy wouldn't have nabbed a major like Oscar or something like that or two.
oh yeah. He showed glimmers of greatness, man.
Yeah.
Like planes, trains, and automobiles. You know,
Hmm.
it's very much got a lot of. And Steve Martin was saying, I think there's a documentary on him as well, but he was saying they cut that whole ending, like when John Candy reveals, "I don't have a home. My wife's been dead for 8 years." That was like
Yeah.
a huge paragraph.
I saw
Like,
that a recent video on YouTube where they show
yeah,
like the part of the script that wasn't used. Yeah.
yeah. And Steve Martin said, "I'm reacting to that original. Like I was in tears." He said
Yeah.
and I can't believe they cut it. They said because it was so emotional, and
Mm.
you know, they got to push the pacing. The movie originally was 3 hours long. It was a really like it.
Yeah.
There was a lot to it.
I've watched that I can't remember if it's Hats Off Entertainment, but it's one of those channels here on YouTube. They do those deep dives into like the what could have been or what was left on the cutting room floor that are pretty awesome. And yeah, I mean what's great though about that movie is even though they had to cut a whole bunch, like what is there is still so very effective. You know, I got goosebumps just you talking about it gave me goosebumps, you know.
Yeah, yeah. We just the wife and I just watched. Hey Matt, before I go on, everyone, what's going
What's
on?
happening,
Matt said,
Matt?
"What's going on, my guys? Boarding my plane now. I bet you $6 of my left nut that you ain't making it to Toronto."
Oh, I love it.
Um, I lost my train of thought, but yeah, it's
Your wife and you were watching
oh
something?
yeah, thank you, Uncle Buck. We watched Uncle Buck. That's my wife's
Oh,
favorite. Is
man.
that one?
Yeah, so
Um,
good.
and it's yeah, it's still so good. And his daughter says that was the character that was most like my father.
Mm,
That really caring but tough. He could be tough with you, right? Um,
yeah. He's great.
so
He's great,
and I
and
yeah, yeah, he's great in it. It's
he has that vulnerability too, you know? He is his, sister-in-law does not really like him, and he doesn't really know until, you know, that scene where he, like, pulls out the picture and it's folded. Just another John Candy moment that even as a kid, like, I'm talking, like, 7 years old, you know, that made me feel, like, just very emotional.
yeah, for sure, right? And like it's funny, like he's the uncle that or the brother-in-law, the uncle that no one really knows everything, but when he's there, he impacts and takes care of the kids better. Like
Mhm.
he's talking to the bitchy teenager girl, where he's talking to her on her level, like an adult and
Yeah,
not a child. And I think
yeah,
that's the thing, right?
yeah.
And he goes, you get that pull out of your keister, and we're gonna get along just fine here." Like he's
Yeah, it's
yeah,
great. And I mean, even the way he just knows how to reach them on each level. And then I mean the bit where he goes and speaks to the school
yeah,
administrator and just
yeah,
like lets her have it. Like that's an amazing moment too. Just going to bat for the kid. And also like Buck is a very flawed character. The movie
right,
doesn't focus too much on that at the beginning, but you do realize as the movie goes on that it's something that he is trying to fix himself too, and that he realizes through the experience of watching the kids and everything he's going through with his girlfriend or his on again, off again girlfriend Shanice. It's Shanice, right?
yeah.
Um,
Shanice,
that he's got to like stop the gambling, stop the bull crap, and that there is a better life out there. You know, I think he realizes that through the kids. Like, hey, I could have something really great, you know, and a totally different life than what I do now. Can't be a kid forever, you know?
yeah, yeah. I mean, great stuff. Like, even like, I don't know. Have you seen Only the Lonely? I really like that one.
Wait, is that the one where he's writing the story, or is that Delirious?
That's
Where he's like
Delirious.
writing the soap opera? Okay. So
Only
those
the
two
long.
came out
Yeah,
back to back, I think, and I may have only seen Delirious. Yeah.
Only the Lonely is the one where he takes care of his mom, which is Maureen O'Hara, who was played in all those John Wayne movies,
Mm,
and the mother makes him feel so guilty that can't have a life of his own, so he ends up dating Ali Sheedy,
mhm.
who's very introverted, right? And so he's a cop. His name's Danny. Jim Belushi's his partner. It's not the funniest movie, but
Mhm.
it's a sweet movie. It's basically a love story, but there's some great acting chops in in that movie as well.
Yeah, and that's wow. Chris Columbus wrote and directed that one, and Macaulay Culkin, another, and Kieran Culkin in it as well, playing brothers. I'm looking at the cast here. Yeah, this is one I'm so aware of this movie, but I don't think I had ever seen it. I don't
It's
think I
it's
ever have.
it's a good. I always liked it.
You know which one I really love that I don't hear a lot of people talking about is Who's Harry Crumb. That
Love
was
that one.
a staple in, like, no joke. Who's Harry Crumb is one of the movies. Like, if somebody said, like, name some comedies that like made you as a kid growing up, Who's Harry Crumb was. I watched that movie so damn much.
Yeah,
I think it's so funny. I love a good, like, funny detective story. I'm a big Fletch fan. And Who's Harry Crumb to me has a lot of that kind of Fletch DNA. It's almost like they saw Fletch and they're like, okay, let's do something like that with John Candy and lean into what makes John Candy so funny. We're not going to try to remake Fletch. We're just going to let John Candy do his thing.
yeah. It's a silly one, but it's a funny one.
Oh yeah, and it's got some really big time perform. Annie Potts is in there. She's so good. Oh my god, and she's so sexy. And then Shawnee
Yeah,
Smith, who our horror crowd, that follow us around. Like, we all know Shawnee Smith from Saw, but when I first saw Saw, I was like, that's the girl from Who's Harry Crumb. That's how I think of her. Like, that's what I relate her to. And of course, what's his face? Barry Corbin, that guy, bit actor that you'd see pop up all over the 80s. He plays the rich father that's missing the daughter. But yeah, man, Who's Harry Crumb is just one of those movies, just cracked me up. So quotable as a child. Me and my brother Rob, how many times we would just speak in quotes from Who's Harry Crumb. It's just that kind of movie.
yeah. It's funny. It's really funny, man. Well, in some of his early stuff, like he was a standout in Stripes. Like he really stood out in that movie.
Yeah.
And I think he steals the show in the mermaid one. Fuck, I can't believe I'm forgetting it.
Splash.
Splash. I think he steals the
Yeah.
show. Like even Tom Hanks on that documentary, he said, working with John, it was like I wasn't in tune with his improv. He was just improving everything. And then Tom Hanks was like, "Oh, he's improv. Okay, I gotta get on board here."
Yeah. It's a totally different kind of thing, right? If you don't come from that school, it is yeah, not everyone knows how to work with that, right? It's own
Yep,
skill. Yeah,
for sure.
another bit role I really like him in. Another movie that made me, honestly, Little Shop of Horrors as Wink Wilkinson. Oh my
Oh
god.
God, could you
Just
imagine? That's how you gotta do your
yeah.
show. Hey, what's going on, everyone? We're laughing and scratching. It's
Yeah.
me, Wilkinson here.
I love it. He's like, I got this kink in my neck. Let me just go ahead and get this. Oh, that feels better.
What are you
And
doing
yeah,
here?
when Rick
No,
Moranis
lady, put your
walks in,
clothes
he's like,
back on.
yes, exactly. Yeah. Him and Rick, man, another SCTV kind of guy. You were talking about him, being a drummer and everything. There's this skit of it's him, Rick Moranis, and Eugene Levy, and they're in this like almost like proto punk, not very good band.
Yeah,
And they each take a round like singing this chorus in the song, and it's so funny because it's like to purposely play like bad music,
yeah,
kind of a tough thing. You have to know what the good is. You have to make the right kinds of mistakes, and then you also have to do something that's funny. It can't just bad isn't funny enough. It's just very, I don't know. I love seeing those guys work together, and beyond just the sketch comedy and everything, but stuff like Spaceballs and all that too.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And like Johnny Toronto, that's what a lot of the skits were. Played the character
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Toronto on SCTV. And he loved working with all those guys, had
Yeah.
relationships with all those guys for years and years and years. And the truth is, they wanted John Candy to play Rick Moranis' role in Ghostbusters. That was originally
Mm.
intended for John Candy as the Dana's the apartment guy. I forget his name. What's his name in that?
Oh my gosh.
Um
It's totally
Lewis.
yes. Yeah.
Lewis and John Candy says, "No, my buddy Rick, he would say is perfect for this. Go get him."
Yeah.
You kind of thing. So yeah, he was God, so many great moments. Sweet man.
Mhm.
Just I mean, after watching that documentary, you're just gonna want to treat everybody so much better once you're done watching it.
Mm.
But
Yeah. No,
you,
I gotta watch it. Just it is nice to hear people talk about reminisce and the people that got to work with him and knew him on that different level.
yeah, for
Um,
sure.
I'm looking through here. I mean, this movie gets a lot of shit, but I think it's like a total fever dream of a comedy. Nothing But Trouble is just
Yeah.
so whack. It's
Yes.
not for everyone. I think it's hilarious though. Like
Yeah.
I love how weird it is and everything like that. And then another movie that is very strange, but that I love so very much is Canadian Bacon.
Oh, I love that one. I'm Canadian. I just get all the humor in
Yeah.
it. So, the beer here
Canadian.
sucks, eh?
Yeah, and it's a whole bunch of Canadian actors like taking the piss out of it all. I love the setup of the movie is funny in and of itself, but just also the characters and the little strange moments are pretty funny too. And I think that was the last movie he finished, I think, right? And then I think Wagons East, I believe he passed away
Yeah, he
while
passed
they were
away on
filming that
he
one.
passed away on that one.
Yeah, with
But
Richard Lewis,
yeah,
I believe, right?
yes, yeah. I don't find it a terribly great one. I find it one of his weaker ones, but I mean, I could watch the guy in anything.
Mm-hmm.
He even did a serious role in JFK. He
Yeah,
had a little bit in there.
yeah.
But man, he's do you have any like defining moments for you, like, oh, this is my favorite John Candy moment or review or whatever? Hey Dean, what's going on, buddy?
What's happening, Dean? I mean, anything from Who's Harry Crumb? I absolutely like. That's probably if I had to pick one John Candy movie to watch for the rest of my life, that's like a John Candy movie because he pops up in so many others. Like Spaceballs is ensemble and everything and all that. I mean, I love Uncle Buck, but Who's Harry Crumb? There's something about I'll never. Every time I hear that song, the I Need a Hero song, I think it's Bonnie Tyler. I'm always gonna think of the airport, like the tarmac scene in Who's Harry Crumb. I'm always gonna think of that. I have a black belt in Aikido and the boots to match.
Yeah.
And then another moment that I really love, when the female cop in Who's Harry Crumb is like, "Would you get to the point?" And he looks at her and goes, "You first." And I love that idea of saying you first when somebody has already asked you to
Yeah.
to like stop your bullshit.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like that movie there was probably like out of all the great roles he's played and the great movies he starred in. If I had to pick one rabbit out of the hat, it would probably be Who's Harry Crumb. And that's a movie I've been actually able to, like I said, it's not a movie that a lot of people talk about. Of course, like the diehard John Candy fans are going to know about it, but it's a movie that I've been fortunate enough to share with some friends and people in my life who totally missed it,
Yeah.
when he was still alive.
I was just gonna watch it last night to get ready for this, but I didn't have enough time because I have it on
Mm,
Blu-ray. I bought a Blu-ray copy of it. But I mean, obviously my favorite's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
so good.
So that's John Hughes. That's my favorite movie. It's my favorite comedy of
Yeah.
all time. It's one of my favorite films of all time. And that's
Mm,
honestly, I'm thinking about doing a video coming up of movies I would never ever remake as long as we live on this planet for the rest of my life. And
yeah.
that's probably one of them. I know
Well,
they're remaking it, but no, thank you. This
they
like
kind of did, right? That Due Date movie with
yeah, I know. I
Zach
didn't watch it though.
Galifianakis and Robert Downey Jr. I've never seen it, but I've had people tell me like, "Oh, that is like straight up remake of Planes, Trains." Never saw it. No interest really.
Now,
But
now,
Planes, Trains is like the perfect sauce. You know, it is that perfect amount of syrup at the end of a comedy movie. Man, Steve Martin, just they play opposite each other so incredibly well in that film.
that was a stable. You know, all those '80s comedies were like that. You had the annoying character, and you had the
Mhm.
guy who couldn't take the other character.
The
They did
curmudgeon,
it.
yeah.
They did it. They did it in Captain Ron. They do it in Great Outdoors. But now John Candy is the one getting
Yeah,
freaking annoyed. So
yeah.
he played opposite sides in.
Mhm.
Actually, speaking of Great Outdoors,
Yeah.
I mean the '96er is one of my favorite moments from
Yeah.
John Candy. It was
Yes.
just so funny.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
another great example. And that's the way that, John Hughes, not every character dynamic was the same in these John Hughes movies, but he wrote character dynamics so well. I mean, there are certain themes that maybe you see come back, but it's like not every, Ferris Bueller's Day Off is a totally different movie than Some Kind of Wonderful or Planes, Trains, and Automobiles or Great Outdoors or Uncle Buck. Like
yeah.
there's different stuff going on here. Weird Science, I would say, is maybe, just to focus on John Hughes a little bit, one of the I would say like probably his, other than Vacation, the most like kind of oddball,
Yeah,
Weird Science.
wacky.
There's a little bit of heart in Weird Science to a degree. There's a little bit of sweetness with the boys like getting their girls and everything like that. But I would say that for the most part, that movie is like when you think of quintessential 80s teen comedies, not like the sex comedies like Porky's, but just, tame enough for the masses. To me, Weird Science is like one of those, and another movie that I don't think you should try to remake. I thought the TV show was actually pretty good for what it was, what I can remember as a kid. But another movie that you just don't want to touch. Don't
Well,
touch Weird Science. Let
I'll
it be a
get to this
thing.
comment and we'll talk about it. But Stephanie, what's going on? Looking
Hey, what's
beautiful,
happening,
girl.
Stephanie?
According to your icon, you are looking pretty good in my eyes. So just compliment you, girl. Welcome to the show, Stephanie. Thanks for
Yeah.
stopping by and all that. There's just something I've been getting this. I may get in crap for this saying this, but I've been watching some modern stuff lately.
Mhm.
Mostly, horror stuff. I watched Talk to Me, good movie. I
Yeah.
watched some of the other people are raving about, but I look to my wife. I go, I won't rewatch this stuff though. I have no desire to go back and watch a lot of these modern movies, and I don't know
Mm,
why. Or maybe it's just nostalgia. Maybe it's because I'm just so
I think
it
that's
was
fair.
so it was so impressionable to me, all these '80s movies. But I just like my wife tells me all the time, get out of the '80s, and I go, I just want to go back to these movies like all the time.
Yeah. Well, and that's
Right? You know
because
what I
you
mean?
want to go back to. I think it's. So I definitely. I'm not saying that this is the only thing, but I do think there's something to be said for wanting to have a healthy escape and a window to your past. The time machines don't exist. The way that we use time machines in our lives is that we go back and we watch those movies. You listen to a record that you grew up with. You read an old comic book or a regular book that you loved. You whatever it is. Like, and I think that's there. There's something to be said for that, and probably generationally, people do that stuff all the time. And then I also think on top of on that there was just something culturally different about the 80s and 90s, particularly the 80s, where things were a bit more free and a bit more open, and a more accurate snapshot of how people actually were. Whereas now, I think when people make movies now, they're like, this is how people should be, not how people are, but how we want people to be. So unsavory characters, we don't see them a lot in movies anymore. People don't say off color things in movies as much anymore. Certain movies do take chances, yes. But in the 80s, even in something as innocent as Weird Science, there's stuff in there that if you tried to do it in a movie now, people will be like, why is that white kid trying to talk like he's a black guy at a jazz club? But they would just find that offensive in and of
It's
itself.
funny. It's fucking funny, people.
Well, and the whole joke is that it doesn't make sense. that's the whole joke, is that there's no reason why he should be doing this. Like,
Well,
so
like,
it's almost, people
you
sort of miss the point when folks look back and criticize those things. Whereas I would like to see these movies take more chances. Like a movie like Superbad, I think it was like what, 06, 07 when that came out, something like that. Like that movie, I was like, it felt a little more like that. It felt like it had a little bit of that 80s DNA, where they
yeah,
were
yeah,
purposely doing things that you should not do and saying things you should not say. And we do need a little bit more of that.
yeah. I mean, I never grew up with Porky's. Let's just sidetrack to the 80s comedy. Never grew up
Yeah.
with it. I watched it with my wife. My wife's 3 years younger than me. She was born in
Mhm.
'82, so same generation.
Yeah.
So we watched it together. I was in stitches. I mean,
Yeah.
stitches. Especially the kind of the sex scene where she's howling like wolf and everything. I was on the floor. I just couldn't contain
Yes.
myself, man, at
Yes.
all.
That
Because it
movie
was
is
just dumb.
so
It was
funny.
stupid, dumb, fucking shit, and I
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah.
And then I had to watch. I had to look it up, and I had and see what this generation thought of it. And I'm just like, my God, you don't get it.
They act like it's real life, or that it encourages people to be a certain way. And I think Porky's is, I think, not only one of the funniest movies, and outlandish, and like definitely, man, I mean, talk about a movie that pushes the envelope. I mean, Bob Clark, what he did with it's crazy to think that Bob Clark did Black Christmas, he did Porky's, and he did A Christmas Story. He did these 3 classic movies that are all pretty different. And he was an envelope pusher. Black Christmas and Porky's, like Porky's invented the 80s sex comedy. I'm just gonna say it right now. And not only that, Porky's is it plays fair. You get a bunch of chick nudity, and you get a whole bunch of dongs and dude butt as well. And not only that, I think one thing that people forget with Porky's is there is a really, just to kind of tie it back to a little bit of the John Hughes thing, where he would put in enough like syrup and enough sweetness depending on the movie. Porky's has a really serious B storyline about racism, anti-Semitism, and
Yep.
it takes place in the 60s. And it show our core characters, the people that we follow, are loving, accepting people, and the people that their good friend that has this issue literally ends up like getting into a physical fight with his dad because he doesn't want to be that way. So there's a really
Yeah,
nice kind of poignant
there
message
is.
there, mixed in with all the crazy
And
wild sex stuff and
not
Pee-wee and all
only
that
that,
shit.
the girls are getting onto these pranks too. They're fighting.
Yes.
They're answering back worse than the
Yes.
guys are. So
Yes.
if you would have
It's all
said
fair.
if the guys were just being perverts and the girls weren't, but there was a
Mhm.
nice balance. It was like they were both getting. It was just fun, man.
Well, it's
So
playful and it's not malicious, because
yeah,
people just assume it's all malicious now.
yeah,
That anything like that would be malicious.
yeah. I
But
can. I
yeah,
mean, I
it's
don't
a
know.
movie too.
It's there was just charming shit back then, and
Yeah,
I've always said, 80s and 90s comedy ruled those 2 decades.
yeah.
They're
Well,
just
and
like,
yeah, people ask me, because I talk horror. It doesn't on YouTube. If you talk so much horror and then you try to talk comedy on your channel, YouTube's probably like, "What the hell are you doing?" But
yeah,
I have people ask like, "Davey, do you like any other kinds of movies other than horror?" And it's like, oh my, I mean, I'm a huge film fan. Like, it's not even just like I love comedy just as much as I love horror, but I'm also like a big classic guy too, like Citizen Kane or Network and all that kind of stuff too. So it's nice to be able to talk a little bit of comedy. And Stephanie, I think you're right that too many sensitive people now these
oh,
days.
I don't. Yes, there are too many. What's going on, Jeff? How you doing, buddy?
What's
Um,
happening, bud?
yeah, Jeff is 80s. Yeah, he loves his 80s movies. Yeah, yeah. A lot of these new movies are a one-time watch. Yeah, I'm. They're not all of them. Like I will
Mhm.
say, like I find myself going back to A Quiet Place quite a bit, actually.
Okay.
Um, and that was 2018, so we're
Yeah.
fairly. But almost everything I watch, I'm like, I wouldn't watch that again.
It
It
has
was
to
fine. It's
really,
fun. It
yeah,
doesn't
it has
resonate as
to
much.
it has to really hit me in a special way. You know, like I enjoyed the first couple Deadpool movies quite a bit as far as like newer kind of comedy goes. And then with horror, like Thanksgiving from 2023. But again, it kind of reminds me of the 80s slashers. So it's, you know, there's like that element there that it's got to really wow me for me to want to go back, you know, for newer movies. I hope we get back there with, you know, with some comedies that take chances. I really hope with the Spaceballs movie that's coming out. I guess this sort of ties into John Candy because I believe
Yeah.
his son is going to play Barf in the
Really?
or Barf
Oh,
Jr. or something like that in the Spaceballs movie that they're making. And I know that Josh Gad is writing it. I don't think he has the best track record. I don't know if he's actually written a film. I think he's I'll just say I think he's one of those sensitive people to avoid any sort of political stuff. But I'm really hoping that Mel Brooks is also like guiding him and being like,
yeah.
Josh, this is the kind of
Uh,
movie we're making. You know,
I
we're gonna make one that makes fun of people. That's what I do. That's what comedy is.
we'll get back to John Hughes. We'll transition to him in a minute, but I just wanted to I put on The Naked Gun, the new one, the other day.
Oh yeah.
My wife fell asleep, so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna put this on. I checked out 20 minutes. I thought I wasn't laughing at one thing in it. I think the movie is so forced and tries so hard to be the naked. I don't know what it is, and I'm not big on spoofy movies, but I'm like
Yeah.
this humor is not. And you know what, Goddess Pamela Anderson, I'm glad you're in the limelight again, but
Yeah.
it just those two were not working for me. Like on any, I don't know what it was. I'm like I checked out. I was like,
I
this
like
is not
some of the
funny.
yeah, I watched it in the theater. Maybe it plays a little bit better in a full crowd. Some of the jokes I was like, yeah, not everyone hit for me. The third act I thought was pretty weak. I didn't really like the villain. I think they could have done a lot better with not the performance, just the writing and everything. The jokes that I liked were the fact that everywhere they like every time they went somewhere, it was like a new cup of coffee. I like dumb stuff like that. I don't know
Yeah,
why. Like they walk into a room with a full coffee and just drop it and grab a new one. And then I think the cups get bigger and more ridiculous. Um, that kind of dumb humor, I'm like, okay, I'm in it for that, you know. But yeah, it's a tougher thing to do. And parody for me is, you know, I'm a Naked Gun, Airplane, Hot Shots, Top Secret kind of guy. Not a scary movie kind of guy or anything like that, or epic movie or date movie or whatever.
yeah.
However, not another teen movie, which has nothing to do with any of those others, different producers, different writers. That movie is great. That movie is a huge homage to John Hughes films. In fact, the high school is called John Hughes High School in the
Oh,
film.
I've never seen
And
that, so I'd have to
oh,
watch it.
dude, and it's raunchy. It pushes the envelope, and you only think it's tied into all those others because it's called Not Another Teen Movie. It really is directed by Joel Gallen, who used to do all the parody stuff for the MTV Movie Awards. He used to direct those. So
Yeah.
all of those skits, like those were him. And there's a whole bunch of like Breakfast Club stuff in there. So they make fun of the 80s and 90s teen comedies in that movie. It's really good and a total love letter to John Hughes. Even Molly Ringwald shows up there as well.
Nice, nice. But yeah, John Hughes really established the teen movie.
Yeah.
Like, and I think we could say, oh yeah, that was our generation, that was our movies. You know what I mean? As much as
Mhm.
as much as I got sick and tired of the Breakfast Club being on every freaking Saturday or every whatever
Yeah.
watching that movie. But there are some great moments in the movie. It's a good
Mhm.
story, a one location
Yeah.
story dealing with what high school students at the time were dealing with. Well, they'd
Mhm.
probably still deal with it now, I would imagine. And yeah, there's just some stuff in there that the rebel, the bad dude, the
Yeah.
Judd
Every
Nelson's
stereotype.
character. Judd Nelson's character there is, a guy who comes off very tough, the badass, but really this is a kid being abused. This is a
Yeah.
kid being treated like he's not loved, and and the principal like just thinks,
Mhm.
that scene where he's gonna threaten to beat the shit out of him. Like, show this to an audience now and see,
Yeah.
That's the way it
Yeah.
was happening. Like teachers weren't always your best friend. Everyone, it wasn't like that.
No.
Not like now.
No. And even Emilio's character kind of deals with the same thing, right? Where it's like the
Yeah.
pressure to be perfect and be the perfect athlete and be the perfect student. And so, yeah, Breakfast Club is a great example of people coming together over common struggles, even though they may live seemingly totally different lives. It's a really good lesson,
Yeah.
in there as well. And I mean, when I think of like, those classic, the wacky teen comedies. I mean, obviously Weird Science, we touched on that, but dude, Ferris Bueller's Day Off is one of the easiest movies to watch. It is so much fun. Everyone wants to be Ferris Bueller. Like you want to be like that quippy and cute and get
Okay.
away with
Okay.
friggin'
I gotta
every little
ask.
thing ever.
I gotta ask. Here's my opinion on Ferris Bueller. Loved it as a kid. Love it as an adult. I think Matthew Broderick had to walk a really tight line because you could have on script. This guy could have came off fucking
Mm,
annoying and arrogant,
yeah,
but
sure. Yeah.
somehow I like him. Somehow I really love the character. Now I've heard the
Mhm.
opposite side. Now I've heard other people saying he treats his friend like shit. He's just an asshole. This kid, like I've heard that. I'm going. Are we talking about the
Mhm.
same movie?
Yeah.
Because to me, he took the day off for his friend, not for himself.
Well,
It was
yeah, I
all
mean,
about it was all about getting Cameron to stand up for himself, getting him to here, live your life, man. Like get out of
yeah.
this funk and it works. I mean, at the end and everything like that. But yeah, I've always loved Ferris Bueller. I always thought Matthew Broderick had to really like John Hughes would really couldn't let him go too much and had to reel
Yeah.
him in. And but he probably did it really subtly though. But like he knew the character. He knew the character, right? And so yeah, what are your thoughts on that of that argument? Like some people not
I'm
liking the character.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I've never really thought of it that way, even though, yeah, he's a pushy friend. He's also like a 16 or 17-year-old kid. So yes, he's pushy. But he's really smart. He knows like how to work the situation to make sure that they can all have fun. He's not just trying to like take his friend's dad's car and leave him there or anything. He's very open to the audience when he's giving his like, it's almost like a lawyer kind of making their case. And he tells you just all about like the conditions that Cameron has had to live in, and that, he's got this person that he's seemingly been friends with since they, long before high school, and somebody that just doesn't really know how to live or let go. And like what he says, like the house was like a museum, like you're not allowed to touch anything in the house, like all that kind of stuff. And I think there's like I don't know if this is the right word, there's a capriciousness about Ferris Bueller that is just so lighthearted. So he's not coming, or it doesn't seem like he narcissistic or anything like that. I'm not saying he's an altruistic character, but it does seem like he is in it for everyone, himself included.
Yeah.
And he's very quick on his feet. He's a very, very quippy, smart guy. Yeah, I've never, but you're right. As far as like Broderick, if you have the wrong actor in that role, it's going to play totally different. Similarly to like when they made Back to the Future and they shot
Ah,
so much of
knew
it
you were
with
gonna
Eric
fucking say
Stoltz,
that.
and
Yeah.
that the Eric Stoltz character, just the way he interpreted Marty from the page, wasn't what Zemeckis like had in his brain. And so I think there is something to be said for that. Also, I don't think Matthew Broderick is the most skilled actor. He's had like some roles where it's really worked out and made sense. When you look at the whole like breadth of his career, I don't think this is like a good actor. I think it's like a guy that is good at certain things, and those things were accentuated in a few movies that he's known for. Most people probably think of Ferris Bueller's Day Off or like War Games. Or if they want to have some fun with it, they think about Godzilla.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I've always loved Ferris Bueller. Definitely one
Yeah.
of my favorite Hughes films. Now
Oh yeah.
my sister drove me nuts with Curly Sue every
I think I
day.
only saw that once. I think I only saw that
I've
one
seen it
once.
100 times. My sister would put it on every day because she loved the little girl. Like it resonated to
Yeah.
a younger girl, I think. Um,
Hmm.
great movie, Stephanie. Great movie. I love Teen Wolf. Love it.
Oh
Give
yeah, Teen
me
Wolf is
a
a fun
keg
one.
of beer.
It's been way too long since I've seen Teen Wolf. I need to jump back in and check it out. I loved that when I was a kid. It was the mixture of the horror with with Marty McFly. It's just the way I saw it as a kid, you know.
Yeah, it was my first review I did on this channel. Teen Wolf was my very first.
Oh, sweet. Hell yeah.
You go right back to the beginning. Teen Wolf's my
Yeah.
maybe a little bit rough, guys, that one. So, but yeah, it's one of my first ones I did on this channel when I rebranded this one.
And
What's up,
I'm
King
looking at
Matthew?
Hey Matthew,
What's
what's
up,
happening?
guys?
I'm
I'm
looking
late to
at
the stream.
dude, I'm looking at Curly Sue right now. I'm like blown away. I'm like, no way, Steve Carell was in this movie as like a maitre d or something like that. A
I didn't know
waiter.
that.
It's so
Oh
funny.
God,
He's so friggin' young. Yeah, I'm just looking at Fred Thompson is in this movie, another actor that Die Hard 2, you'd see him pop up all over. Oh my God, Edie McClung. So she's in a whole bunch of these. I know we're talking John Candy, John Hughes, but Edie McClung is in all these John Hughes movies, right? The Secretary in Ferris, the rental car woman in Planes, Trains, which is probably the most epic comedy scene, I would say, in Planes, Trains.
oh yeah, I
And
know.
then and then
I used to
here she is
recite it
here.
when I wasn't allowed to.
Just all the F bombs he drops right there. It's amazing. And I love when she's like, when she's on the phone and she's like, okay, they're arranging the Thanksgiving dinner and she's like, gobble gobble.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know what it is about
yeah,
her.
and he's just
She's great.
annoyed by this part. He's just freaking annoyed. I've
Yeah.
always loved the car scene when they're driving, and he's just. Me and my brother would watch this, and we'd just be like, "What do I do that annoys you? You play with your balls a lot."
I do not play with my balls a lot.
you, you know what I'd like? And a couple set of hands and a couple more fingers.
Yeah.
He'd start
Yeah.
doing that John Candy laugh. That freaking
Yeah.
oh my god, his laugh just oh god, his John
Yeah.
Candy could just make me laugh with his laugh. It's
Dude,
so good.
that right before, I think it's right before they get into the car accident and he's listening to the mess
Ray Charles.
around and he's doing that, the piano on the dashboard. But my favorite, and I've never seen anyone do it, is when you do the saxophone and he puts the thumb in his mouth. Because I've seen people like act like they're holding a sax. I'm like, no, that one is the best. The John Candy, here, I'll do it for doing that. Oh, it's so perfect.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you just watch it. You go, what a funny guy. And that's not like something. I don't know how that played out on the script. It probably was just like, you're driving along, singing along with the mess around, and the way he's just like,
Dell
looking at
imitates playing the instruments, and then it's
Yeah.
just John Candy being John Candy and figuring it out himself.
So yeah, that had to be complete improv.
Yeah. What a flick, man.
I'm
What a
laughing
flick.
already. I can't wait for tomorrow. I'll be on Matt's channel, everyone, tomorrow watching Planes,
I'll
Trains,
be
and
I'll be over there too. Jason, it's funny because tonight and then tomorrow night and then on Friday we're watching Friday the 13th part 2, 3, and 4, or
Yes,
the
we
final chapter
are.
if you're nasty. So Jason, I might be spending more time with you during the Thanksgiving week than my family.
That's okay.
How do you like that?
Okay.
I know it's already been Thanksgiving for you guys out there, but it's just about to be Thanksgiving for us down here.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it, but I'll be taking a break for the lives for a while after Friday, so it'll be fun to hang out with you for that amount of time. So yeah, that's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, those movies just go by like such a breeze. When you asked me to do that, I was like, oh man, it's just so easy to watch. Those are three of my favorite. Those are all in my top 5 ranking of the franchise. Yeah. So it's like that's easy watching 2, 3, and 4. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'll be taking
a while. It's been a while. You watched 1 with me, so this is kind of like
finishing off that quadrilogy. There you go.
There you go, Stephanie.
Yeah,
glad you're excited. 7:30 p.m. going to probably, I'm guessing 1 in the morning, guys.
It's gonna be a late one. It's gonna be a late one.
I'm gonna need my. I don't drink a lot of Monsters, but I'll need one that night.
There you go.
Actually, I come home. Actually, I only work to 10:30 in the morning, so I'll probably grab a snooze, and
there you go,
and get ready for it. But I don't know. That's what I got, guys. That's what I got. John Candy and John Hughes. Just Oh man, it's this classic staple of the 80s.
Yeah.
You know, every genre had their staples. Whether action, it was Stallone and Arnold.
Hmm.
Comedy, you know, the SCTV guys, the Dan Aykroyds. Horror, the Friday the 13th. I mean, the 80s. I just don't know how you can compare any decade to the 80s. The 80s was just the 80s was the time of movies, not so much
Hmm.
film, movies. There's a
Yeah.
big difference between a film and a movie.
Sure. They
Yeah.
cranked them out, man. And cranked
Yeah.
out so I mean, between John Candy and John Hughes, there are so many here and there's so much great overlap as well. And I'm fortunate I was born in 82, but I have four older siblings. So I got to experience a lot of these things and maybe retain a little bit more of it than perhaps somebody would if they didn't have older siblings to we have siblings that were in high school in the 80s and everything. So it was like I remember a lot more of it than I think I probably would have if I didn't have older siblings.
Yeah, for sure. I had two older ones, two older brothers. One was a year older than me, another 4. I have
Mm-hmm.
my younger sister, so um yeah, I mean, I was exposed to a lot.
Yeah.
My dad was westerns and well, my dad is westerns and science fiction. My mom was horror and mafia
Nice.
movies. So I had a
Oh,
lot
very
of
cool.
genre. I had a lot of genres thrown at me. Plus, I
That's
was like,
awesome.
I got into Stallone and Jason and
Yeah.
um all these franchises and these movies. This in the 90s too, right? The 90s was my teenage years, more like
Hmm.
the mid 90s and everything like that. That had a lot of wonderful stuff too. But yeah, Davey, what's coming up on the channel for you?
Yeah. So, on Wednesday, I'm going to be doing, so usually I do late night with the Davey on Wednesdays, but, we got those Stranger Things, the first 4 episodes of Stranger Things 5 are coming out on Wednesday. So, I'm going to be driving out to the East Valley here in Phoenix where Cecil Laird and the horror show are, stationed out there, and I'm going to be hanging out with those guys. We're not going to do like a live watch party. We've been doing that for the Welcome to Derry show. But with Stranger Things, we're just going to watch the episodes and we're going to shoot reviews for each episode.
Sweet.
And then we might do a little bit of a roundup thing once we're done. So it's going to be, talk about needing some Monster or 5 Hour Energies or whatever. I'm going to grab my pajamas and go on over there and watch that. So that's going to be Wednesday. We're going to be knocking that out. And then I'm taking it easy on, Thanksgiving, of course, and putting together some collaborations with M from Horror Her. We did a Scream 7 like fan theories, like people dropped theories in the comments and we highlighted some of those theories. So after the 4 episodes of Stranger Things, we're going to jump on and we're going to theorize what we think is going to happen in the back half of that season. So, and then other than that, yeah, covering it Welcome to Derry on my channel with the live watch parties and short reviews, and then doing reviews on the horror show channel. So just a whole bunch of stuff. Covering news as it drops. I'm going to drop a Scarlett Johansson signing on to The Exorcist news video
Yeah.
here in a sec for you guys to catch up on if you want to do that. So
I've been excited about that project because I love
yeah.
Flanagan to death.
Hmm.
Um, I know
I
this
know
is
when I think of you, Jason, I think of Psycho, Sylvester Stallone, usually Rambo, and I think of Mike Flanagan.
yeah. If I, on the yeah, and Haunting of Hill House is the best horror thing I've ever seen in my life,
Mm,
easily, because there's so much emotional drama to it. There's so much
it is pretty
payoff.
layered. Yeah.
Where are you in the series so far?
Maybe just 4 episodes through. So
Oh,
you're
oh,
starting, yeah, you're starting to see everyone's kind of individual superpowers, or maybe you don't want to call them superpowers because I think for some people it's not as
have you caught
easy.
on to the metaphor yet? That each
Uh,
Crane kid is a stage of grief.
no, I haven't caught on to
So
that yet. No.
Stephen is denial.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's why
Gotcha.
I said it in my
Denial,
review.
acceptance,
Yep, Thea
bargaining.
yeah, Nell's except yeah, Theodora's bargaining. Anger
Mhm.
is obviously is Shirley is anger. Now
Mhm.
watch it with that context, and I think you'll really be like,
Okay.
"This is fucking brilliant."
Yeah.
Like,
Uh,
and I think the best is still yet to come for you, though. So,
cool. Hell yeah. Yeah, I got to jump back into that one.
Western movie has some great comeback remakers too. Yeah, man, love some Western. As far as me, guys, the big live Friday 13th show on Friday. I got some retrospectives coming out because of 1985. So Rocky 4, Rambo 2, and Back to the Future. I'm working on all those right now. December is likely going to be a slower month. I'm putting out a channel update. I'm going to record it, put it out on my channel because we're going to be shifting some things in 2026. You may not see me as much at times, and this is why. Like, I want to share that you're first people to see this. I am working on a full 10 episodic YouTube series, documentary, if you will. At least is the best I can get it. This won't be going to the film festivals or anything, but honestly, this is a massive project here. So this is called Still Standing: 50 Years of Rocky, and basically this is going to be going through the Rocky franchise, but through the fans' perspective, and you're going to meet characters, and we're going to tell stories from how the Rocky message philosophy inspired people, and they've just achieved great things and overcome really great battles. I've had this in my brain for about 4 years now, and so this is kind of like a dream, man. This is like being able to put this together is just gonna be absolutely um fantastic. So if you guys don't mind, I would like to show you a little teaser here. So we'll just show it together here, and yeah, check it out.
Oh, there's still some stuff in the basement. I'm afraid! All right? Maybe you're right. Maybe I ain't got it no more.
You go back to being a two-bit nothing.
You can't win!
I never asked you to stop being a woman, you know. Don't ask me to stop being a man.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
There we go,
Hell
guys.
yeah,
So,
man. That looks great.
so
I love it.
there will be an official poster coming. That was just something AI kind of quickly I designed through what I told it to. That was kind of the vision I had. But I got an official poster, some original music from a musician that I've contacted, a friend and everything. So this is going to be a big deal, guys. So I really would like you to share it, whatever you can, to get this pushed out there. I mean, I'm going to be doing extensive interviews. I'm going to be putting this thing together through stock footage, movie clips, graphics. It's going to be a big thing, man. It's going to be a huge thing. It probably when it's all done, I'll probably slam it all together into one big 2-hour documentary. So yeah, I might even get to Philadelphia to get some shots in of me on the steps, because I think there's some um a good shot I could do there, good message I could say. But yeah, I just wanted to post that. I'm gonna be, sharing stuff all through this. This is gonna be a huge thing. So um subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this after the fact, tell me what you think and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. And yeah, so we've hit the hour mark, guys. So I think I'm gonna head out. So if there's anything else, any questions, anything like that, I got a few minutes if you guys want to ask questions. But if not, we'll just check out of here, and we'll see you Friday for Friday the 13th.
Damn, so much. So many Friday the 13th. I got my mask right there, though, so we're all good. There we go.
Oh, thank you, Stephanie. I get Rocky's not for everybody. I've done so many different genres on this channel but yeah, it's gonna be good either way. Like, you know what I mean? So I just feel like I need to create more. I gotta just up the game. There's just some things I'd really like to do other than just reviews and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this is something I've been percolating for so long that I go, wow, the 50th is coming up. I got to get this. I got to get working on this now. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, you
But,
got to shake things up and keep those juices flowing, and keep that, there's a certain part about being creative that is about satisfying, an urge or a calling, you know what I mean? So that's awesome that you're doing that, man.
Chester Franklin, what's your guys' favorite John Candy movie and John Hughes movie that doesn't have to be the ones they did together?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, John Candy. Well, my two favorites are John Hughes films, so I might go Only the Lonely. Actually, I think that's just a really sweet, heartfelt movie. I mean, if you're, you know what, it's a rom-com, but it's just done so classy, and it's just a sweetness to it. It's not corny. There's a sweetness to it. Really, really, really heartfelt. I'll go with that for today. I also love The Great Outdoors. I watched that. Oh, Summer Rental. I forgot about Summer Rental.
That's really good too. Yeah, that's a good one.
I love Summer Rental, man.
Yeah.
And John Hughes, it's probably like the ones
Baby's Day Out.
Well, I'm thinking only the ones he directed.
Oh, gotcha.
Vacation. He didn't direct that. The Breakfast Club was too overplayed for me. Weird Science is fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might have to go Ferris Bueller, to be honest. Maybe.
Ferris Bueller is really good. Yeah. Did he direct that one?
Yes, he directed Ferris Bueller.
Wow, that's a really good. That's a really.
She's
good
having
job.
a baby. Ferris Bueller, Uncle Buck, Curly Sue, Planes, Trains.
Gotcha. Yeah.
16 Candles is fun too, man. I didn't even mention that.
Yeah, 16 Candles is great as well.
That's another one the woke people just fucking tear apart. It's so funny.
So there's so much, so much of the 80s that people would cringe on. Yeah. Gosh, it's so tough. I with John Candy, Chester, right? It's Chester that's asking the question. Okay. Yeah, so with John Candy, if I have to pick one, it is going to be Who's Harry Crumb. I watched it so much as a kid. I think we taped it off like HBO or something, and I just wore that sucker out. Like, I love that movie so damn much. Definitely more of the silly and not so much of like the heartfelt kind of thing. With John Hughes, it's really difficult. I mean, National Lampoon's Vacation is one of my favorite comedies of all time, but I think I will go for a movie he wrote and directed. So I'm gonna say, I think it's gotta be Ferris Bueller. It's just like that to me is such a. It's Ferris Bueller or Weird Science, because there's such quintessential 80s teen comedies. I just love them so much. There's something about Ferris Bueller that just makes you want to go and do something wild and adventurous and risky with your life and with your friends. And I love that about Ferris Bueller. It's just so much fun.
I want to skip work every time I watch it.
There you go. They should have done a legacy sequel, right? Where he's older and he skips work. Would have been great. Could have been great. Well, although I don't know, Matthew Broderick, who knows?
You never know. Yeah, I don't know about the would they let that kind of humor still seep into it? I don't
It's
know.
too long for the Legacy sequel now. They would have wanted to do it in like the 2010s or something like that. I think we're too far gone from it now. It would be Legacy sequel now would be him like escaping an old folks home. Which could be funny. Could be funny.
It's just pretty sad there's no comedies no more. It's like no one and we need to laugh more than ever now.
I'm trying to think I'm like, what was, I mean, I did see The Naked Gun. I know we talked about that briefly. I mean, The Toxic Avenger, I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Although it's technically like a horror movie, you know.
I love the Fall Guy. That was great. That was basically an 80s movie. Like
I heard, my brother loved that movie. I haven't seen it, but he was like, it feels like watching like it's an homage to like the old 80s action movies.
Yep. It really was, and it was funny. It was really funny too. So it does it did really well. I'm glad because I love Emily Blunt. She's like my favorite actress. One of them. No, I think she is.
She's solid. She's solid.
I love her. I love her work. She's supposed to be really good in The Smashing Machine. That's one I'd really like to see. So
I did really like the John Hamm did a Fletch movie 4 years ago, 2021 or 2022. It was one of those movies that ended up just being put out like on Paramount because I think it was like, it wasn't in the middle of COVID, but it was like right, still dealing with all that stuff. But I was like, man, what a shame it didn't hit the theaters because I love the Fletch character. And I think he did a really good job. He's not an actor that I think very highly of just in general. Yeah. But him playing that character, I could tell that the love was there for sure. It's not a wild, it doesn't doesn't try to be inappropriate or anything, but a really funny comedy. But yeah, you're right. They used to be a dime a dozen 80s and 90s, like turn around and there's another, every 6 months, there's another hilarious comedy coming out.
Oh, thank you, Stephanie. I really appreciate that. Like from the bottom of my heart, really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. Stephanie's great about sharing stuff. I see her share stuff on Facebook and all that. So yeah, if you follow Jason over on Facebook, Stephanie, you can.
Especially, I do a lot on Instagram. I do a lot on Instagram. So in the description should be my Instagram too. Stephanie, and I'm gonna have updates about the whole process, good or bad. I mean, this thing could fall on its face. Who knows? But I'm definitely gonna put my 100% effort into it, and I think I think you guys are really gonna like it. If I get what's in my head out onto this, I think you're really gonna like it. So
you just gotta manifest it, man. Speak it into existence, and then as you're going through the process, it could turn into something even greater than what you imagine. Like that's the way to think about it. Is hey, this is gonna be even better than I hope.
Yeah, and I think it's a stepping stone because I'd really like to start making even just little short films. Because I do have some. I wrote one little horror script, little short film. I wrote. I sent it to the ladies' double feature podcast. They really liked it. So that was pretty good, Jason. Yeah. So you got to keep doing that. So, I just writing's like playing guitar or doing anything. It's just like the mood's got to be, the creativity's got to be in the right moment. So, but I do got
force it.
Yeah, and it's just, man. Money, and when you're not established, who's going to crowdfund you? Really, like that's the thing.
That's why you do the documentary and everything, and just show people like, hey, I can conceive something and follow through with it, and then from there you can be like, and the next thing I'm going to do is going to be something of my own. And it's wild that no one else is doing a documentary on Rocky, so I think you're like, it's really it's good timing.
Yeah, and I got some. You're gonna meet some characters that I know through the Rocky community, who have shared their stories through the Rocky Files podcast. Definitely check them out. And there's good stuff in it. I mean, I wish I could show you guys more, but likely be a nice, like a proper trailer.
Yeah,
with the people in the documentary in July. So I'm telling you guys, this is going to be if I got this done in 3 months, I'm not letting it sink enough. This is going to be like
sure.
from like a year. I'm gonna be a year into this. Like this is like the real thing, really, kind of thing. So,
Heck yeah, man.
it's not gonna look like something you'd see like on Netflix documentary. It's not gonna look like that. I want to give you context. It's gonna look like something probably like one of my best YouTube videos ever. It's gonna look something like that. But it doesn't mean it can't be great. But it's gonna be consistent. It'll be consistent. It's not gonna look great in one shot and gritty in the other. It's so. But yeah, so I do appreciate all the support. I'm gonna have a lot of Rocky videos dropping too, just to kind of tell the algorithm, hey, I want you to push this out. Like, so.
Got it. You
But
got to
anyways,
you got to train YouTube to help you out.
Yeah, do what you have to do. But yeah, I think I'm done for the night, guys. I have to work tomorrow, so I really appreciate everyone coming out. Head over to Davey's channel if you haven't already. He is the true night owl. He's the midnight rider over there on late night.
A little bit.
The Davey, all the horror news. Even I watch them all the time because I don't keep up with all that stuff. So it's nice to oh my goodness. Please do. Please do. You won't regret
They're
it.
good.
You won't regret
They're good.
it's my favorite franchise, obviously. But yeah, head over to Davey's channel, man. Davey's great. He's your live guy. He's the guy with all the news. You know, I'm the retro guy. I stay in the 80s, I stay in the 70s. I just go back all the time. So, but yeah, I'm excited to bring your guys hockey mask Friday night, the popcorn, the drinks. We're gonna talk about the characters. We're just gonna have a lot of fun just going through this, and it's all for promoting James Sweet's movie Jason Rising 2. So I want to make that pretty clear. This is what we're doing it for. So we'll pop up his teaser on the stream and everything. So yeah. But I am your number one source for the movies that made us. Rewinding cinema, baby. So I have to say hi to Chad before I go. Yo, what's up, Chad?
Hey,
Speaking
Chad.
of Jason, he was an awesome Jason.
Heck of a dude.
In fact, I have it right here, Chad.
Boom.
There you go. My special boy.
Special boy.
Excellent. So yeah, I'm tapping out. Okay. I'm tapping out. I'll see you guys later. See you in the movies, man.
Take care, guys.